This is our 52 Chevy Tenacious is what it's called. Bo Vescio from Vescio's Customizing up in Rogers, Minnesota. We're out here at the Back to the 50s at the Minnesota State Fairgrounds, biggest show in the country. Yeah, we've been out here for like 26 years showing cars. So we have a good friend, who's a customer, Jeff Bustrom. Walked in one day when we were all, guys were sitting having lunch in the shop, and he come in his suit, and he brought in this the Honda 70 dirt bikes. And they're, this was one his wife had when she was young. Her dad brought it for her when she was like 12. So he brought it in to restore it, you know, and then he's looking around, and he likes dirt bikes, and he's got boats, and, you know, he's just a hard worker and a hard player. So he started getting into it. He's like, these cars look kind of fun. So then he talked to me about different cars. Well, we ended up doing like 3 cars for him, and then became really good friends. And then he had this 52 Chevy that was his father-in-law's that they had when, you know, they're both farm kids from Iowa. So he goes, we'd come to the show here and see a couple, and like, well, that's kind of cool. I think my father-in-law has one of those. So he picked that up. And then we thought, okay, we're going to make a big deal car. We're going to really go big on this one. So we had Ben Hermance do some drawings, and we wanted to do, you know, everybody does those cars real 50s style, which is, I love that, because that's kind of stuff I got into. But we thought, well, we're going to do these like these Mustangs and Camaros and these Pro Tour cars. So that's the vibe we went with. 52 Chevy Deluxe, and we just cut this thing up like crazy. So it's got a chop, nose and decked, pancaked front and rear. We did a little custom touch on the headlights. The bumpers flipped and tucked. We changed, there's some LED lights in here. These are usually the lights, but now that's a little intake. The filters come down. There's 2 K&Ns that come down that feed the, it's got a Mast Motorsports LS3 with a Whipple blower. So it's about 850 horse. Yeah, it should go. We haven't been driving it that much because we're showing it, so you don't want to chip it all up, but you can feel it. You can feel it when you're going. So these, all the wheel flares are from like a 60 Chevy truck. So all that stuff is flat on a regular Chevy. You know, the wheel openings cut a little low. You know, we've got these Forge Line wheels. They were the old Grip Equip, was the series. So that's got an Art Morrison chassis. We've made the original trim around the belt mold. Usually when people cut these and chop them, they get rid of that trim because it's a lot of work. We thought it'd be cool to keep that on there. It just shows the extra work it takes. So we made a full, that's a glued in windshield with a full aluminum piece of trim cut out of one piece on the front. We tried putting the original in there and setting it, but you know, once you chop those, they get so tight. So then the side top of the doors, those are the same. Those are all hand built. The belt molding is the original. If you come around the back, so when we drew it up, we have these stand-up tail lights. That rear bumper is a 55 Chevy that's got the little kick out. We cut it short, flip that over too, and then have the exhaust cutouts. But those are 58 Cadillac or 58 Corvette tail lights. So when the rendering, they had a tail light drawn, and we thought, oh, we might have to build a tail light. And then we had a 58 Chevy in the shop, or a Corvette, and we thought, God, those things look kind of perfect for that. So you just flip them, put them in there, and then we put LED panels in the back. So they're pretty cool. That is, it's just a recreation of the original. The original is a little bigger. So we had that redone, milled out with the name Tenacious in there. And this also has a little flip down in here, which is to open the trunk. So yeah, there's These things take a long time, but there's a lot of thought into them. Yeah, a lot of little stuff in there. But yes, it has that. It's funny because, I mean, to me, the 49 through 53, whatever Chevy, they all kind of look the same, but everybody's asking what it is whenever we go to a show. So we're gonna take this down to Des Moines, Good Guys. We had it in Arizona last year, and we got a pick, a builder's pick. And then Modern Rotting just had it in their magazine. Art Morrison used it in their new ad. Their last ad had the Riddler winter Nomad, the gray Nomad. So all that stuff's kind of fun. We try to work with all the different companies, and that's another thing about this industry and this, the hobby is just everybody likes to seem like they like to get along, and it's just fun. You all have the same interests and ideas, and it's good to bounce ideas off, and business wise or just design wise. Yeah, you're competitive, but it's like you're not trying not to throw people under the bus. You're trying to encourage. Whether you win or not, I mean, you do like winning, but it's just fun to, it's fun to show and fun to hang out with everybody who kind of thinks the same a little bit. This is our buddy Sean from Top Stitch. We did this color, and then I wanted to do something that stood out, so the whole engine is this pearl orange color. And then I thought, well, I think it'd be cool to do the interior that same, something similar. So we found a good orange leather, and everybody was like, I don't know, that looks kind of like it's too loud. So it has the blue. So we custom built this dash, and surround for this gauge cluster. Classic Instruments built that for us with this sharp wheel. And then, so we did everything. We've got the blue carpet, blue headliner. It's a we fiberglass the outside of the car to make a headliner panel. So there's two panels in there. So that's like a suede. And then I wanted that orange to pop. So these are mid-2000s Chevy Impala seats. So we got 4 buckets. So we got the 2 buckets in the back with the little waterfall panel design in there. There's a cool Tenacious panel that's in the seats there. Mast Motorsports down in Texas put this motor together. So it's an LS3. They've got that Whipple blower on there. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Not real wild. I mean, some of these motors, everybody gets twin turbos, and they get pretty involved, pretty complicated. This thing's got plenty of horsepower. You hardly even use it anymore. So sometimes making a car so undrivable, just for the fact of the wow. But yeah, it's so that's that cool pearl orange. It's got just the regular old Chevy valve covers. You put a base down and get your, hide your coil packs and all that. Yeah, firewall, all that is all custom built. The inner panels, mix of I like to do the satin, the satin in the interior, satin under the hood, mix with the polished up, regular clear coated. Little bit of orange pinstripe. The hinges, those are the stock hinges, except for we made the arms out of a billet. So they're not totally, brand new off the shelf product, but they're, it's a mix of that. And then finish them off really nice, chrome plate them. You got the intercooler stuff you can kind of see through the grill. That gives you a little touch of what's inside there. Some people thought, oh, you don't have the grill in there. It's like, well, we're trying to, that car has a look. It has a performance, Pro Tour kind of style to it. So. Like I say, we've been around a long time. As we walk through the show, there's always tons of cars that we've done over the years. So that's always kind of fun to see. And we have a lot of old cars. You know, there's not old as in, you know, the year of the car, but how long ago we did them. So there's a, you know, 15, 20 years or so, and those cars are still running around. One of the first big ones we did was it was a 50 Dodge, like a 50 Plymouth, had a Carson top. It was a pearl yellow. Frenchie Fergie was the guy that owned the car. He's passed away years ago, but a couple years ago I saw that car go over at Meekum auction, and it was still good. You know, it was a good lead sled, low car, Carson top. It was a neat car. It was kind of fun to do that back then. That Candy Willys that we did that got us hooked up with House of Color, I think that's in California now. That guy, again, we've been in business so long, these guys have passed away. I mean, as tight as we get in with these cars, we've been to weddings and funerals for customers. So that's how involved we get with the people we do stuff. I mean, we just like making friends, and you know, our get together here, our big open house that we have at the shop. It's just, you know, family and friends, and that's how we like to run the shop. We, you know, the guy every Wednesday we feed the guys at the shop. We all sit together, and you know, otherwise they're running around and keep them busy. We like to keep everybody together and tight knit, and you know, no toxic energy. We kind of get rid of some of that stuff when, you know, when you get someone like that in the shop. But yeah, we're supposed to be having a good time doing this all the time, the customer and the builder. So.